is Shira Newman. My pronouns are she, her. I'm originally from Overland Park, Kansas. Went to the University of Kansas and NYU, and I'm a dental hygienist. Currently working here in Dallas, Texas. A bit of a spiritual nut, I guess you could say. And kind of just really absorbed in everything that's going on in the world, whether it's sports, politics, how to make the world a better place. I'm hopeful that in 20 years it looks a lot different than the world is now. We've had a tendency for power struggle and not really nurturing humankind in the world, and I'm really hoping that over the next 20 years we kind of evolve from this space of kind of destruction to more creation, helping end world hunger, focusing on world peace, focusing on education, like maternal support, so people actually want to bring children into the world. Focus on making the world actually a more livable, sustainable place over time instead of what's currently happening right now. In 20 years, I hope the world will be basically the complete opposite of what it is now, where human rights are just a given. No one's trying to strip anyone of their individuality. Everyone is accepting of one another. Women's bodies aren't up for political debate. There isn't that aspect of trying to control through politics. It's just a more sustainable creating nature, and my hope is that people feel more protected and safe than they are currently. I also just hope that we kind of retune our food supply, makeup, the products that we're putting on ourselves to not be harmful to us, as now everything is coming out that there could be, asbestos in makeup. And so I'm hoping that in the future, companies are a little more ethical as well, and they're just trying to really build us up, keep us healthy, and nurture us to be the best people that we can possibly be. Sure, wow. So if it keeps on the current trajectory, I kind of feel like the world is just headed for its ultimate destruction. People quick to war, people dying needlessly, women's bodies being even more regulated, especially because of the birth rate lowering, especially in the United States, that, it could look a little Handmaid's Tale-ish, which I hope that it does not. Food shortages, an even more damaged food supply, compromised water supply, politicians who continue to have their own political beliefs outweigh helping the masses, and just companies focusing on even more greed to the point where there is no middle class whatsoever. It's just the poorest of the poor and then the wealthiest of the wealthy. And, it's kind of just dystopian Hunger Games almost in nature. And it's pretty grim. Utopia, from my point of view, would look like everyone feeling comfortable in their own skin, being able to live the life that they want, and not being fearful of them providing housing for their families, food for their families, no one telling them how to think religiously or politically, everyone being able to freely form their own opinions. There would be no assault weapons, ever. Human life would actually be valued. It wouldn't just be some collateral damage like it's been in the past. People would be able to travel freely, interact with other cultures, and really just do what makes them happy. Ideally, that would not be a 40-hour work week. It would be maybe even a 20-hour work week, because we don't need the greed of corporate America or capitalism. It could just be, okay, you work enough to be able to make enough money to feed, clothe, and house yourself and a little extra, and then do what makes you happy. If that's creating art, create art. If that's taking a hike outside for 8 hours. Take a hike outside. If that's traveling to a different state or a different country, you're able to do that more freely. Just basically people living happily, responsibly, and without constraint. Obviously, rules and government is great, but it wouldn't be as intrusive in your everyday life as it had been in the past. Obviously, no one would ever go hungry. There would be no such thing as war. These boundaries we've kind of created, they could even be gone. Everyone would just kind of just be living happily, naturally.